Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today. Great to be with you. It's toward the end of the week, end of our rope, and I'm just so delighted to be with you. This what is it? July the 14th. I'm going to devote the first portion of this show, this opening segment, to a very dear friend of mine and childhood classmate, playmate, Leo Duman. And I want to share this story with you because I think it has a great, I know it's a health talk show, and you might wonder why I would want to pay tribute to Leo, my friend, who passed away this past Tuesday. As it turns out, yesterday I was in studio here working, and Gary was with me. As a matter of fact, he was working as well. And I got a phone call late in the afternoon. It was one of the family members, and I picked up my phone. It said Leo Duman on it. And I picked it up and said, "Hi, Leo." And he would call me from time to time. And it wasn't Leo, it was a family member to tell me that he had passed away. On Tuesday, he passed away. On Tuesday, he crossed my mind. I was thinking about, my own, as many of you know, my own battle with cancer over these past 9 months. And I was thinking about my childhood. I was thinking about first principles and drawing upon the things that I was taught to find strength to continue to do what I have to do. And somehow Leo came to my mind, and that's the day he passed away. He was 72 years old. We grew up in Pittsburgh. He lived on Doak Street. I lived on Velte Street, and they crossed. And we went to school all through, went to St. Walburga's Catholic School. And he was from a large family. I don't know forget how many were in the family, 12 or 13 kids. I don't know how many there were. And they were a prayerful family, very devoted Catholics and wonderful people, the Duman family. I have such fond memories of Leo. And what I can tell you about him, and this is relevant for all of us, is that as a child, even as a child, I recognized that there was something about him. He was just good, He was a good person. There was no maliciousness in him. None. I never saw him lash out at any of the other kids. I never saw him. He just was a good person. And at the time, when you're children, you don't make much. I just sort of sensed that. But as I got older, and we get older, and I thought about him, I said he was good as when we were youngsters, and he was good as an adult, and he stayed good, if you will, throughout his life. And I was telling his family this very morning. I called to let them know I was going to talk about him. There was a certain innocence about him and goodness. And he seemed so unaffected by the world that we live in. And sometimes it's you know how it gets, right? So cynical and dark, and people can be so petty and malicious. Not Leo. No. He would call me from time to time. We would talk, and it was like we were back on Doak Street or Velte Street as kids. There was that innocence. It was remarkable. You find very few people like that. And I share this story about him because these are the things that make a difference in our life. These are the kinds of people that make the world better. And I wrote a little condolence or obituary last night. It was late. And I think one of the lines I put in it was that the place is a lesser world now that he is gone. And Leo was every man. He was, a father, a brother, a sister. He had sisters and brothers. He had grandchildren, his children, whatnot. He was just a good man. And he lived his life like most people do. The immediate family knows who he is, where his neighborhood and where he grows up and works and lives and then passes away. They know who he is, but the rest of the world doesn't know. But it's those kinds of people that make the world a better place. And, I'm sure you have someone in your past when you grew up who was like that, or you've known a person like that. I feel privileged to have known him. Far better person than I could ever be. Just good. Just wholesome and good. I'm sure his family's heartbroken with his passing. I don't know if we have that obituary. We can show you a picture of him. He was a nice-looking man. There he is. Leo Joseph Duman. Nice fella. Well, my deepest condolences to the Duman family. You can get in touch with the show. Gary will give you some numbers.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at letstalknutrition.com.
What about the app, Gary? We got that going on too, don't we?
Well, yes, we do. It's a $5 off a $35 purchase now, and the code is still GARCO. You can go to your iPhone or your Google Store and download the app. It's great because there's only 3 buttons. I don't know if you know, Steve, but I'm kind of dumb when it comes to the phone stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is with the 3 buttons, you can either watch the old shows, get the savings, or you can contact us. I don't know if you get the contacts also, Steve. Do you?
No, I'm not set up with that, so I don't see that information come in. But I mean, that's something we could do to where I could scan through them as well. But yeah, it's a nice app because one of the things you point out, Gary, is it's simple. Like nowadays, you get these apps and there's 50,000 things that they do. This one is just all about the show. You get the show, you can get your discounts, and you can join in and join in the conversation. So.
Exactly. And don't forget at the end of each show, we do the 25 gift card for the trivia question.
Yeah. And the savings is, you can go to the Vitamin Discount Center, VDC, is it VDCUSA.com?
It's Vitamin Discount Center now.
VitaminDiscountCenter.com, and you can make your purchase there. And if you mention my name, you'll get $5
off a $35 purchase.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, so it saves you on shipping.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you for picking it up. I got upset.
Yeah. Hey, so last night went to Crunch Fitness.
How'd it go?
Hundreds of people.
Great.
Literally hundreds of people.
Wonderful.
Unbelievable community support.
Yeah.
A lot of people from the base said they listened to the show.
Oh, great.
Because they're right down the road. So
we're trying to make bigger and deeper inroads. The show's across the United States, coast to coast, including Hawaii. But the show originates out of Tampa Bay. This is where we started 12 years ago. This community has supported the show, and I'm forever in its debt. All the wonderful people in the Tampa Bay area. So we're trying to pay back and make greater inroads into the community, and you're going to see more of us around. So I hope you like us, because if you don't, it's too bad. You're going to see us anyway.
I didn't know if you knew this or if Steve knew this. We're the most syndicated show in Tampa Bay.
Hallelujah.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. And I'm dedicating this show to my classmate and friend from over a lifetime, Leo Duman, who passed away this past Tuesday up in Pittsburgh. And my deepest condolences to his family. He was a lovely, wonderful, decent, honorable man. Just had so much respect for him. I wish I could be as good as he was. So over the years now, I've been talking about this obesity epidemic. It's not going away. And it is formidable as it ever has been. It is just as perplexing as it has been. Experts are just coming up with one thing after another to try and fix it. It's like one of those cars you buy. It keeps breaking down. You keep taking it to a different mechanic and, oh, yeah, I can fix it. No. Next garage. I can fix it. No, nobody's been able to fix it. And my point of view about that is that just focusing on our country. This is an epidemic that sweeps across the globe now. And I'm going to report on a study, was on CNN, their website, Mira, Centohinogam or something or other. It's hard to pronounce. I'll try to, there it is, there's her name. And you'll see in that article, and it's worth reading, how this epidemic is global indeed, but just in our country. My belief is that our lack of success has been because there's no central command. Right down the road from us, Gary, is what?
Central command.
is central command. And that's exactly what you're going to need to get this epidemic moderated. You're going to need a central command where you have the various institutions of our society working together. And somebody's got to be steering it and guiding it. And that's going to involve the federal government for sure.
Well, last night, it's kind of interesting. My next door neighbor's a minister now.
Yes.
Okay. And I was coming home, and he met me outside, and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "I noticed that you and Angela used to be very active and walk outside and play basketball." He goes, "I want to start walking at night. Would you be interested in walking with me?"
Great. Oh, tell him yes.
And I said, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, we're kind of stuck now because she can't do anything because of the kid.
Well, you go walk with him now.
So I'm going to start walking with him.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This comes up, that issue comes up in this article.
Oh.
And if we can consolidate the efforts, we have great research going on to solve this problem. We have universities doing research. We have private institutions and medical institutions and whatnot doing research to try to solve it. I mean, from top to bottom. But you need a central command. You need some entity to guide and direct the whole program. It's going to take that kind of effort. We're doing a catch as catch can shotgun approach here. And we're not having much success. Mindful, 68% of the population in our country is overweight or obese. Better than a third is obese. Children, adolescents, 17% are obese. 25% are overweight or obese. It's diet and lifestyle. We have, when we evolved, there was scarcity and mobility. We had to move, but there was scarcity and we had to move. Now there's abundance and we're sedentary. They don't go together very well. We live in a convenience world. There was nothing convenient about our ancient ancestors in the way they had to live. So we evolved in a different context, and our genes adapted to that environment. Stress and scarcity. Now we have stress and abundance. We had stress, scarcity, and a lot of mobility. Now we have stress, abundance, and sedentary lifestyle. That is in conflict with our with our biology. The body was never designed, the human anatomy was never designed to sit all the hours that we do and to lead a sedentary life. And we're in a lot of trouble. We're able to keep, if people were dropping dead left and right from obesity, you can bet your bottom dollar there would be a full court press to get this thing resolved. People can live a good while being obese or overweight. But make no mistake about it, heart disease, for example, heart disease, cancer, orthopedic issues, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, I can go down the list that are correlated with being overweight or obese. Colorectal cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer. It is, in my opinion, it is the greatest and most severe public health concern we have of the 21st century. Notice I didn't say heart disease or cancer. It's unsustainable. It will bankrupt this country. It will bankrupt it. The medical system cannot keep up. Neither can the insurance. I'm just saying. LTN, coast to coast.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. I'm dedicating today's show to Leo Duman, who passed away this past Tuesday. He was my childhood classmate and friend, known him all my life, and was probably one of the most decent human beings I've ever known. I should be half as good a person as he was. He would be, as I said, the world is a lesser place now that he's gone.
Okay, so you told me a funny story.
Yes.
You know, it's funny that we remember people the best by funny stories.
Oh, the baseball story?
Yeah.
The story is, Leo and I used to like to play baseball. And he was an avid baseball fan, and I like baseball too, and the kids in the neighborhood. And one day my mother told me, said, Michael, stay in the house. I want you going out today. I don't know what I did. I was grounded. I snuck out of the house. And I found Leo, and we went, because I knew they were going to go play baseball that day across the bridge over the ball field. And I wanted to go. So I went with Leo. And we went and we played. And we had a great time. So we're coming home, and we're walking across the bridge, and Leo's swinging the bat. And guess what? I walked right into the bat and I still have the scar. It's right there. Split my right eye, the top of my right eye. Blood is gushing out all over the place.
How old were you?
We must have been, I don't know, 10, 12, somewhere in there, 10 years old, maybe 10, somewhere in there. And my eye is just, blood is just pumping out. I had to get home, right? And he was in a panic, and I didn't know what to think. And I walk up on Velte Street. I walk up the hill. I walk up to the front, toward the front of the door. There's my mother standing at the door. Oh my goodness. Boy, first I got a licking. She was so mad at me. Then she had to stop the bleeding, and we had to take a streetcar to Pittsburgh Hospital to get the stitches because we didn't own a vehicle. Nobody drove in our family.
That right there just amazes me.
And my mother and Leo and I talked about that story for years. I said, Leo, you hit me in the head with a bat, man. You got me in so much trouble. Poor Leo. He was so upset. He was scared to death. The blood was just boom, boom, coming out. And I was drenched in blood. And my mother just flipped out. Talking to me in Italian, yelling at me in Italian, giving me what for, smacked me on the bottom several times, whatever, with the ice, trying to get the blood bleeding to stop, taking me to the streetcar. Oh, geez, what a mess. I just loved and he's gone now. What a shame. Anyway, I love him. And I hope he watches over all of us, because let me tell you, if there's anybody with the angels, he is, for sure. So now, this article on CNN, why are these countries the most obese? Walking is just one reason. This is a nice article. I recommend that you read it. Go to CNN. It's posted on our Facebook page. And they point out that the world is in the middle of an obesity epidemic. That's what I've been saying for 10 years. And they said, quote, and current trends indicate that it's only going to get worse, close quote. So I'm not saying the sky is falling just to be hyperbolic. A recent study they reported found that more than 2 billion adults and children globally are overweight or obese and suffer health problems. Not surprising. Now, it turns out that there are pockets of the global population who remain, they said, somewhat unaware of this public health crisis. They're unaware. And a Dr. Frank Yu, professor of nutrition and epidemiology at Harvard T.H. Chang School of Public Health, said, quote, different countries have different issues. You need to mobilize, what did I just say a few minutes ago? You need to mobilize whole society to tackle the problem. It's not just a medical problem, close quote. It's not just a medical problem. He's right. The Pacific Islands, the Middle East, and Americas that will include us, lead the way in terms of regions, and it's reported in the article, with the greatest obesity rates. The Pacific Islands, Middle East, and Americas. More than 48% of the population of Cook Islands, are classified, ladies and gentlemen, as obese. Nearly 50% of the population in the Pacific Islands, the Cook Islands, are obese. Qatar led the way in the Middle East in this study with 34%, followed by the United States at 33%. Boy, we're really distinguishing ourselves. This is according to the WHO. Unbelievable. Wherever the Western diet has been imported, there is not one exception. If you can find it, you call me, email me. We have a gazillion ways to get in touch with me. You tell me one place where this processed, highly processed, non-plant-based food diet is imported and the people are not suffering obesity and disease rates that they never experienced before. Wherever it's imported. Where was it I reported the other day? Somewhere in the Himalayan mountains. What was that place?
It was I thought it was in Tibet.
Tibet, somewhere. They now have obesity because the diet was imported there. It was in the Himalayan mountains somewhere. We'll find it. I couldn't believe it. And I think I remember commenting, I said, why don't you leave those people alone?
Yeah, you did.
Leave them alone, man. You don't need to be importing that crap into their culture. The diet is the leading cause of disease and death, early death. I'll repeat, diet is the leading cause of death and disease in the United States and around the world. Diet. Unbelievable. This is off the chain, and it's not getting better. I wish I could tell you, I'd say, well, here's a solution. The only solution I know of is, again, to have a central command here in our country. The federal government has to be involved, private industry, all sectors of society.
Do you think there's people that believe it's not the diet?
Yeah, I do. And I'll tell you about a couple of those.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back to the, this obese world that we live in. We live in an obesogenic society. You know what I mean by obesogenic? In fact, that's one of the reasons given in the article and the study on obesity. An obesogenic environment is an environment where the food and the physical environment are such that it inspires, promotes, or otherwise causes people to become overweight or obese. Their quote from the article says, the environment created determines the choices individuals make. Sitting most of the day, taking fewer steps, having greater access to fast food, and having less time to cook are just a few examples, close quote. It's a society of convenience. Make no mistake about it. Convenience, excess C words, convenience, calories, processed carbohydrate, high processed carbohydrate foods. The U.S. is a prime example, they said, and has been so for at least 3 decades. In the article, Dr. Frank Yu describes the U.S. as the superpower of obesity. I haven't seen that line. Highlighting the availability of cheap, highly processed foods and urban design focused on driving, particularly in the South and Midwest. People don't walk anymore. Some places don't have places for them to walk. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know. In Africa, he says, he points out that we bring those foods in and they're trying to teach. The diet has made its way into the continent of Africa, this Western processed diet. And so Dr. Yu and others, what they're trying to do, I guess, here is bring in these foods and show them to the people and say, don't eat these. It's a multi-dimensional problem. It's multifactorial. It's not. And Gary, you asked me the question. What was the question you asked me heading into messages?
About the coconut water?
No. You said, are there people who...
people that believe that your diet has nothing to do with your health.
Okay. There are some medical doctors, and I've heard them say it. And I've read their comments. One in particular's name I will not mention, where he said, it's all about willpower. These people are fat because they have no willpower. Well, that is about as wrong-headed and ignorant as... That's a chimpanzee wouldn't make that comment. You have to have an IQ of a monkey to say that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be harsh, but that's true. It's not about willpower. If it was just about willpower, we could have solved the problem. And that's what some people believe.
I know when I was a police officer, I wanted to work out because I wanted to live during a fight.
Well, you were motivated, right?
I was motivated. Okay. And then later on in life, I had really nothing to be motivated to go work out and do. Until I realized, well, yeah, I do because that's my life. It prolongs my life.
You're a classic example of what can happen to a person. People, okay, do this. Circumstances will be such in a person's life where their relationship with food was not all that good to begin with. But when things start to unravel, divorce, financial issues, health issues, combination of those, maybe all of those, losing a job, losing a loved one, all of a sudden, they find themselves with that relationship with food being that a relationship that they exploit in the wrong way. And they start to gain weight. And the circumstances can lead to overweight or obesity. Some people believe it's just genetic. It's not. It is not. That's not to say that it's not involved, but the lion's share of the variance for obesity and overweight is by diet and lifestyle. And so I've known people who were thin and in good shape, and things started to go bad in their life. And next thing you know, they're overweight or obese.
I've seen it.
Okay.
And I've seen people that were overweight and obese that
brought it down.
And one of the examples, one of the guys that works in the building next studio over, he was, when his younger days, did not look like he looks now. And now it's like, man, I want to go hang out with that guy because he looks good, and I want to look like that.
Exactly. And it's hard. If you listen to the show, we talk about the relationship with food. In this article, they point out that there are some societies that where physical activity is not considered to be something associated with health. It's involved in sports in certain countries around the world. Interesting. You know, the perception of physical activity. They give that as a reason. They give another reason, the value of processed foods. What's interesting, in other countries, they value that Western processed diet. I have no idea why. And they want to eat it. It smells good, tastes good, looks good. Who doesn't like burgers and fries, man? Cookies, crackers, cakes, chips, cola, cupcakes, croissants, all those C words. So it's they value the processed food. And then the environmental factors that I pointed out. Poor perceptions of exercise. In the Middle East and China, physical activity, it's when I come back, I'll share with you that deserves some attention. The perception of exercise in some parts of the world. In our country, we see exercise as related to health. In other places in the world, they see exercise as something involving sports. Wow. So many variables going on here. It's so complicated. And then you have obesity, overweight and obesity and heart disease. We're going to zero in on that today. My guest is in the second hour is going to be Steve Augustine with Waukanaga of America. We're going to talk about that connection. We're going to focus on heart disease. We'll be back.
As
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today. Great that you could be there, and I'm grateful. And you're the most important part of the show. No audience, no show. Today, I'm dedicating the show, both hours, to my friend Leo Duman, who passed away this past Tuesday. He was a classmate and friend. I grew up with him in Pittsburgh. Was, as I mentioned in the first hour, probably the nicest, decent person I've ever known. Just a good human being. I can't even begin to describe that. It's remarkable how a person could remain that good, that unaffected by the negative aspects of our world and society, and hold on to his values. He was a family man. He loved his family. Came from a big family. I think there were 13 kids in that family, the Duman family. Grew up on Doak Street. I grew up on Velte Street. They intersected there in Pittsburgh. And he was my pal when we were kids. Went to Catholic school. We served Mass together, played baseball together. And he passed on this. And what's so odd, this past Tuesday, he crossed my mind. I kid you not. I was thinking about things, and trying to figure out how I'm going to deal with what I got to go through here. And I said, go back to first principles. Go back to the things that made you who you are. And I was thinking about growing up and what I was taught in Catholic school and my mother and father and so on, just those first principles. And he came across my mind because he was such a good person. And he was like that as a child, too. Just good. I never saw him do anything to another kid in a neighborhood, anything, not a malicious bone in his body. And he was like that his whole life. It's remarkable, man, how a person can do that. So he will be, as I wrote a little comment about him, and I said, the world is a lesser place because he's gone. And it's true. And people like that, to know somebody like that is a privilege, right? Good people like that. He'll be missed. Leo Duman. He was 72 years old. Good, just a good man. Great guy. He would call me from time to time and just to say hello to me and whatnot. He was pretty remarkable. So we'll dedicate the show to him today. My guest in this hour is Steve Augustine, and Steve is a regular guest on Let's Talk Nutrition. He's an educator for Wampanoag of America. I was talking about the obesity epidemic. It turns out that overweight and obesity, is significantly correlated with heart disease. And I'm referring to this study. It's published in Nature. And the headline on the study is Large-Scale Physical Activity Data Reveal Worldwide Activity Inequality, which, of course, leads to obesity. And in the CNN article at CNN.com, they identify a number of variables that are correlated or, people believe are related to this global epidemic. And and it's not just one thing. It's not just one variable. It's a multi-dimensional problem, multifactorial. And perception of exercise. Check this out. Physical inactivity, of course, is one of the usual suspects in the lineup for the obesity epidemic worldwide. As the world becomes more urbanized, people become what? More sedentary. And this is pretty evident, for example, in the Middle East, and then exercise doesn't become a priority. And in some populations, it's not a priority. Example, Middle East and China. It's not a priority. In Kuwait, they did a focus groups from the World Health Organization. What they learned from those was that locals consider exercise as sport rather, they said, than something done with a group of friends or at home. That's amazing. In the Middle East, it's not considered the norm, for example, for women to take part in outdoor exercise or physical activity or for leisure. Having women exercise openly is a cultural issue, close quote. So there is even the perception of exercise, how we perceive it in different parts of the world. In our country, we perceive exercise as essential to good health and weight management. Here's the truth. Exercise is not among the better predictors for weight loss. It's not among the better ones. Diet is the best predictor for weight loss. If you combine diet and exercise together, that combination is about the best predictor. It's among the best predictors for weight loss. Exercise alone will not get it done for most people. You'd have to really exercise a lot. It's diet. Diet is the primary driver. Calorie management, eating non-processed foods, no cookies, crackers, cakes, chips, colas, cupcakes, croissants, candy bars, Cocoa Puff, Cocoa Crunch, Cocoa whatever, Cocoa. None of that nonsense. No. Diet is the best predictor. And diet is the leading cause of disease. Period. So exercise helps. But if you're trying to lose weight by exercise alone and not moderating your diet or changing it, and it's an abysmal diet, you're going to have a devil of a time. And you have to prioritize. If you want exercise to really be part of your program for weight loss, you have to prioritize it. They point out in the CNN article that in some places like China and parts of East Asia, exercise is not a priority. You want to know what the priority is? Academics for kids. There's so much pressure put on kids in those countries to perform academically, they don't have time to exercise. Here, in this country, I wish you could say it was academics. It's video games is the priority. And the children have become sedentary. When Leo Duman and I were kids, we played outside till the street lights went on, playing baseball, stickball, football, catch, whatever. I'm just saying. I know it's a complicated problem, but on an individual level, we talk about that here, with things that you can do. I'll say this with 100% certainty. Switch to a whole food, plant-based diet. No meat, no dairy. I'll give you a break. I'll leave out the no oil part. Whole food, plant-based diet, no meat, no dairy. You'll lose weight and you'll never have to diet again. If you can stay heavy and not lose weight on a whole food, plant-based diet, managing your calories, no meat, no dairy, then you're a biological anomaly, and we need to get you to ND Anderson or some clinic immediately.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Steve Augustine is my guest today, and Steve, educator for Wampanoag of America. Steve, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you on. You heard my, where did you find that picture?
That's off his LinkedIn.
Holy cow. That's unbelievable. Steve, we found a picture of you. You look like, how old is he in that photo?
That's got to be a different, I'm not on LinkedIn, so.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like him. It looks like a very young version. That's amazing, man.
I thought it was, that's why I took it off on LinkedIn.
It looks like him.
There's another Steve Augustine
He
in
looks
Tampa.
like-
You might have him.
Yeah, it looks like you when you were younger.
Thank you.
How you doing, pal?
Good. It's good to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
You heard my monologue about the obesity epidemic and whatnot, and how I think, we try to help people on the show using dietary and nutritional principles, lifestyle principles, to help them lose weight and keep it off. I've had pretty good success with that. I just think that diets, there's one title I have for an article here, is that getting fat on weight loss diets, right? That's what happens.
Yo-yo syndrome.
Yeah. So that's what we try to do, and it takes a concerted effort, and you have to do it one step at a time, changing the relation. I approach it in terms of the person's relationship with food. Let's talk about that. What's your relationship with food? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? What can we change? What are you willing to change? You have to explore that with the client. And then you figure that out, and you take it one step at a time, and slowly but surely, that's how you get there. But if you eat a whole food, plant-based diet, no meat, no oil, no dairy, you'll lose weight. Keep it off. You'll never have to diet again. That's my opinion.
I think lifestyle has a big part of it too, right?
It does, but the primary driver is diet. If you can get the diet right, things fall easier into place. You sleep better. You tend to want to exercise a little bit more because you're having success with the diet. It does. I mean, you're right. Lifestyle is critical, but diet, in my opinion, is the primary driver. Now, it's complicated. People's relationship with food, Steve, begins in utero, and sometimes that relationship is very unhealthy. And people eat for the wrong reasons and eat the wrong foods for the wrong reasons. And that starts early in childhood and carries over into adulthood. And that's a bugger to change, boy. That's tough stuff. So, but it's obesity and overweight correlate with heart disease. Waukanaga of America is concerned about heart disease, aren't they?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you chose this topic because Dr. Budoff, who we work with at UCLA Cardiovascular Research Center, actually just had a study published in 2016 that he did related to metabolic syndrome. If you want to talk briefly about that, maybe
of course.
We can help.
Please do.
Okay, well, it was my understanding. I struggled with metabolic syndrome first, trying to understand the whole concept of it. And I know that the general public, most people don't hear that term and just say, oh, yeah, metabolic syndrome. I know what that is. So I looked into it a little bit. And basically there are 5 factors that you have to look at: large waistline, high triglyceride level, low high-density lipoprotein cholesterol when you get your blood work done, high blood pressure, which that everybody's pretty familiar with that, and high fasting blood sugar. And those are the big 5, as I call them, of metabolic syndrome. And if you have 3 out of 5 of those, then you qualify as having metabolic syndrome. And that's what Dr. Budoff's most recent study addressed.
Did you attend my talk that I gave to Waukanaga of America? I think it was the sales. I forget who the audience was on metabolic syndrome.
If it was out in California, there's a good chance I was there, yeah.
Yes. Dr. Jim Lavelle was in the audience.
Right.
And I gave a talk on metabolic syndrome and Kyolic aged garlic extract.
Right.
And how Kyolic could help with metabolic syndrome.
Yeah, and that's what Dr. Budoff's most recent study, and I'm pretty sure he was in the room there, right? With it had to be Jim Lavelle and Dr. Budoff.
Yeah, they were there. They were there, and the talk they gave me, I think I spoke for like 30 or 40 minutes.
Right. Did Dr. Budoff present his material at that? Do you remember that, or was it not published at that time?
It was not published at that time.
Okay, well, let me go over that real quick for your audience. So Dr. Budoff is the director of the Cardiac CT Division of UCLA Cardiovascular Research Center at Harbor, UCLA. And this study was published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2016, and it looked at the effects of aged garlic extract on 55 people with metabolic syndrome, which we just discussed. The patients took 2,400 milligrams of aged garlic extract for a year. It was a double-blind placebo study, so only half of the patients actually took it and the other half took a placebo. But the final result of the study, when Dr. Budoff went back and looked at it, was that total plaque accumulation, further plaque accumulation, and the people who were taking Kyolic had slowed by 80%. And more importantly, they had a reduction in soft plaque percentage as well as regressed low attenuation or vulnerable, dangerous plaque.
Okay, so you're saying that what Dr. Budoff discovered is that taking Kyolic aged garlic extract seemed to moderate plaque buildup?
It reduced further plaque accumulation by up to 80%. Not the calcified hard plaque that you've already got.
The fatty plaque.
Soft, vulnerable plaque.
All right, we come back. We'll explore this. Kyolic aged garlic extract been on the market how many years?
Since 1955.
How many countries?
54.
Yeah. There's a big hint. It works. LTN Coast to Coast.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Did you know that 7 in 10 people have digestive issues? It's no wonder, really. When you take a closer look at what's inside, you'll see that our intestinal environment is similar to a lush garden, a flourishing biodiversity comprised of healthy gut flora. Flora that we depend upon for our health and well-being. Stress, over-sanitization, over-processed foods, and the overuse of antibiotics have clear-cut our guts, leaving our tummies feeling, well, not great. You see, what we have done by killing off the gut flora is damage the soil of our inner gardens. With damaged soil, nothing can really grow or flourish, and disease starts to set in. But we will let you in on a little secret. Fermentation makes all the difference. You know that bloated feeling you can get when taking a vegan protein? Oh, come on. We know you know. Almost all of us get it. That feeling comes from a natural protective casing that surrounds grains and legumes. Because this casing acts as a natural defense mechanism to prevent the grain or legume from being digested, the result is gas and bloating as it passes through our digestive tract. This is where the magic of fermentation comes in. Only fermentation breaks down this casing, freeing the nutrients for absorption by your body. Not only that, but it amplifies the existing nutrients. This means you are getting all the available nutrients from your protein. But there's more. Remember our garden that we clear cut? Well, fermentation, when done right, actually restores that biodiversity of flora. Fermentation naturally replenishes the soil in our garden. Can your protein powder do all that? Well, ours can. Fermented Vegan Proteins Plus by Genuine Health. 7 plant-based sources for a complete amino acid profile. No bloating, maximizes protein and nutrient absorption, and strengthens your gut health. Gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and 100% vegan. Try some today. Your gut will thank you. Genuine Health is possible.
Turns out that heart disease is the leading chronic cause of death in the United States, although I believe that diet is the leading cause of death of these chronic diseases. And Kyolic aged garlic extract can serve a wonderful purpose in keeping your cardiovascular system healthy. Those arteries, you know. Steve Augustine's my guest, educator for Wampanoag of America. You were talking about metabolic syndrome. Of course, that's correlated with heart disease, right?
I think it's very closely correlated, yeah.
For sure, no doubt. In fact, one of the risk factors for metabolic syndrome is high blood pressure, is it not?
Yes, it is.
So you already have heart disease when you have metabolic syndrome in most cases. But go ahead. You were talking about Dr. Budoff's study about how aged garlic extract was able to break up the soft fatty plaque.
Right. Well, cardiologists are looking at what they call low attenuation plaque now, which is
what is that?
It's like a vulnerable kind of plaque that's more prone to breaking off and actually causing a heart attack. So they're giving it a lot more attention now, and it's really kind of interesting that cardiologists have begun researching aged garlic extract and its ability to reduce low attenuation plaque. This first study that Dr. Budoff did had 55 people, so obviously we need to go back and try and do a much larger study, but the positive results of this study alone that were published in the Journal of Nutrition hopefully will stimulate that scientific process down the road.
Some numbers call into the studio if you'd like to ask Steve some questions. Maybe I know many of you do take Kyolic aged garlic extract. If you have something to share about your experience with it, please call us.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
Heart disease. Do you have you have different formulas, right?
Right. There are 25 different Kyolic formulas.
Okay. All of them would contribute to cardiovascular health, but you have some that are even not only they all have aged garlic extract in them, but some formulas they include other ingredients that are more cardiovascular centered.
Right. There's actually the Kyolic Total Heart Health, which has got aged garlic extract, folic acid, B6, vitamin B12, and L-arginine. That is probably the most balanced cardiovascular formula just because it helps address homocysteine, helps stimulate nitric oxide production, does a lot of different things that the aged garlic extract helps with, but it's complemented by the B vitamins.
Mm-hmm. And you find, what kind of feedback have you received?
Well, I mean, are you talking about in-store, talking to actual customers, or you're talking
whatever?
From
the angels, I don't care.
When I'm actually in the store, actually talking to health food store owners, they actually are very positive with the results that they get with the people who come through the door. And, you know, anecdotal testimonials to me are just as important as scientific research, because I've been doing this for 28 years, and if I can't bump into people in the store after 28 years that can tell me, hey, you know, I've been taking this for 10 or 15 years, and I can personally tell you that this works, it's really helped my cholesterol or my blood pressure or helped me get my cardiovascular situation under control. And those are important things.
Absolutely. I mean, it's anecdotal, yes, but if you start to collect enough of those anecdotal data, they start to, you start to see some pattern there, and they have some merit. I mean, you can't dismiss it out of hand. You know what I mean?
As you know, we're a science-based company. We have 750 peer-reviewed studies done now, and you've been to many of our symposiums. So our main focus is on actual science at big-name universities. But it always makes me feel better when I'm in a store and I get positive feedback from actual people.
How many PhDs they have working for Wakanaga?
We have over 100 PhDs at the company total, in counting Japan and the United States.
Ding, 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 ding. They've devoted a large share of their resources to research.
I mean, yeah, every year, as you know, we're doing 5 to 10 new research studies. We've got 4 or 5 research studies in 2017 that are waiting to be published. One from Dr. Budoff, one from Dr. Jones, one from Dr. Reed. We've got a new one. Dr. Lindstedt is doing a study for us at Lund University Hospital in Sweden. So we're doing research all around the world, not just in the United States.
It's amazing. Why are you all doing that? Why do you think the company's doing that?
Well, it's one of those things where when I'm working in my territory in Florida and I have a University of Florida study, it has a better impact. People like to hear that you're doing research in the United States at a local university or at UCLA Cardiovascular Research Center on the West Coast. When you're in Germany, you want to hear studies done in German universities, and likewise.
I see what you're getting at. The product, I've known about the product for 12 years or more, and I've taken it, and I've given lectures and talks, even to your company, about it. I'm a big fan. I think it's one of those, but it's not just about, I know what we're focused on heart disease today, and there's some other studies you can refer to, if I would like you to anyway, about cardiovascular health and Kyolic, but it contributes to many other health dimensions as well, does it not?
Yeah, well, one study that Dr. Budoff is looking into for 2017, and we're hoping will be published, is how diabetes kind of plays into the whole health picture with people with cardiovascular disease, because they tend to, diabetics tend to have all kinds of other health concerns. So he is doing an 80-person study. It's a double-blind placebo-controlled study with 1,200 milligrams of aged garlic extract per day. He's going to be looking at coronary plaque composition and volume, vascular endothelial function, and cardiovascular disease markers like lipids and things like that, as well as inflammatory markers. They're in the enrollment phase, and that study we're hoping will get published sometime this year, and we can maybe talk about it down the road.
Are you proud to work for them?
Oh, yeah. I've been there for 28 years. I don't think I'd be there still if I wasn't.
You know what I like about your company? No flash and bang, no issues, no prima donna attitude. just under the radar, steady as she goes, do the research, make good products. Class act. They're a class act, Wampanoag, aren't they?
Well, they don't try and do anything too progressive. We're very conservative.
I know. Well, they are progressive, though.
Well, in research, not in.
They're not. Let me frame it another way for you. See if you like this. They don't use marketing to hype.
Right. We're the exact opposite of most other companies. We spend more money on research than we do on marketing.
Yeah. What's the old saying? Stick to your knitting.
Want to get at the core issues that make
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. I was talking about this, I referred to a CNN article. It was written by Mira Senthil-Ingham. And it's worth reading, and entitled, "Why Are These Countries the Most Obese? Walking is Just One Reason," she points out in the article. How many people worldwide are overweight or obese? How many people worldwide are overweight or obese? 2 million or 2 billion? It's an easy one. Here's a number. Need a mic.
877-897-8255. 877-897-8255. How many different brands of garlic do they have, or kinds?
Who?
Wakanaga.
25.
25.
Is that what you said? Aren't there 20 different formulas?
25, yeah. That's correct.
Dr. Garko listens when you talk.
That's a lot.
There are different formulations. All of them, Gary, have Kyolic aged garlic extract. Organically grown by and managed and supervised by Wakanaga of America, right?
Right, grown at Harris Ranch, just outside of Fresno.
Have you ever been there?
No, I have not been. I have been to Fresno, but I have not been to the garlic farms there.
I wonder if, Gary told me that onion fields, the soil, you can smell the onions. I wonder if you smell the garlic and
you can smell garlic. Oh yeah, a lot of gardeners will plant garlic around their garden because the odor from the garlic actually discourages a lot of insects.
Tell them, Gary. Tell them about onions.
Okay. So they plant onions here in Plant City around the strawberries.
Yep.
To keep away the critters.
It really does help. You can also spray your vegetables with garlic water or garlic oil, and it'll help.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I used to give my bulldogs garlic to keep the fleas off of them.
Yep, we'll do that, and mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
That's a good idea. Now, there are other garlic products on the market. What's so different about Kyolics?
Well, we're organically grown. We're an aged organic extract. So we concentrate, the aging process takes 12 to 20 months. And during that process, there are a lot of enzymatic reactions taking place, as well as a chemical reaction called a Maillard reaction that produces unique compounds that are found only in Kyolic.
Is there any other aged garlic product on the market?
Not that I know of. Not that would compare to Kyolic. I think there's some things called black garlic, but I'm not sure how they're produced. And I know that we've been doing this, since 1955. So it's impossible to think that any other company would be as good at it as we are.
I don't think so. I don't think there is. Let's go to Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. There's a nice health store in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Kay, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Do you happen to know the name of that health store?
It's Family Natural Foods.
Ding, ding. You win the prize. You don't even have to answer the question. You get
I love that store.
Yeah, Family Natural Foods. That's a pretty nice store. It's been there for a long, long time.
Oh, my gosh, forever and a day.
Forever and a day.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you doing?
They are so friendly.
How are you doing, Kay? You doing okay?
I'm pretty good.
Taking care of yourself?
Yes, I have to. I only have one kidney.
Oh, you do now.
So I have to drink a lot of water.
How long have you had just one kidney?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, it changes your perspective on life, doesn't it, Kay?
Absolutely.
When you have that kind of experience.
Yes, I lost my sister, too, and that was very hard.
Difficult. These are the... Yes. Yeah, I know. And I'm glad that you're I'm glad that you listen to the show. I hope that it helps in some form or fashion.
Oh, it does. I love your show.
Oh, well, thank you. You're
every day.
Oh, well, thank you again. You're so kind.
I learned so much.
Oh, you learned so much. Well, we're trying. We're all here to learn.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I wish you the best of health. I know you know the answer. It's 2 billion. So
yes,
I'm not so worried. I'm not so interested in that. You got the prize, but say the name of the health store again for the folks.
Family Natural Foods.
Family Natural Foods. I've spoken with them on occasion, and they're nice people.
Oh, they're so family oriented.
Yeah, Family Natural Food. Been in the family several generations, I understand, that store.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Of all, in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Nice, just wholesome, good people there, right?
Oh, I love it. And we got waterfront, and I mean, the water is so calming, and a lot of walking trails.
Oh, great.
Right along the river.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, everybody needs that exercise.
Well,
exercise.
Absolutely. Keep moving.
Yes,
Keep moving.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. I wish you the best of health, and you can call us anytime you want for any reason at all. You don't even need a reason. Just call us and say hello.
Okay, thank you. You have a very nice weekend.
You do the same. Stephen, you doing all right for yourself these days, pal?
Yeah, I always travel too much, but other than that, I'm doing okay.
I'm going to take you up on that dinner now.
Yep, as soon as I get back from Cincinnati that I told you about, I'll definitely be giving you a call.
All right, man. Good luck with that business in Cincinnati, okay?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Thank you.
All right, and give my best to Jay Levy and all the 100 PhDs that walking out of America.
I sure will. Thank you very much.
All right. Kyolic aged garlic extract sold in fine health stores and throughout the world. In how many countries?
54.
54, man. Unbelievable.
And counting.
And counting. They are great. If your health store's not carrying Kyolic, you got to get them in the program.
I'd be shocked.
I'd be shocked, too. But get them on the program. Tell them, please. Got to carry Kyolic. Take care of yourself. I'll catch you the next time.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Today I dedicated the show to Leo Duman, my schoolmate and friend from childhood. Grew up together. He passed away this past Tuesday. I'm heartbroken by it. Probably one of the finest human beings I've ever known. I wish I could be half the person he was in his goodness. I've never seen anything like it. He will be missed. I love him. See you next week.